This is Douglas again, and I'm running for Minnesota House District 52B. This is the third video in fraud on Minnesota. Next week, I'm going to start a new series, not sure on what yet. This week, I'm talking about feeding our future fraud that cost you and me over $250 million. Feeding our future was supposed to be a beacon of hope during the pandemic, providing meals to hungry children. But instead, it became the center of a federal investigation, the biggest pandemic fraud case in the nation. The Office of Legislative Auditors concluded that inadequate oversight by the Minnesota Department of Education and a lack of timely action created opportunities for this fraud. That report underscores the Walz administration's failure to halt this massive fraud, which has seen 70 individuals charged in a scheme to steal $250 million. From 18 people have already pled guilty. In the first trial, a jury found 5 of 7 defendants guilty. Despite the state's defense that they were the ones who alerted federal authorities, the audit paints a different picture. It details how the Minnesota Department of Education was not prepared to address the issue and failed to act despite serious concerns and still approving funding for feeding our future. The Minnesota Department of Education Commissioner argues that the agency met oversight standards. If allowing a $250 million fraud to happen is meeting oversight standards, we have a lot more work to do than I thought. The state government needs to make sure that the fraud does not happen. And if they detect it, they need to stop payment on that contract. It is really that simple. Governor Walz spokesman stated that the state has already made corrective actions suggested by the Office of Legislative Auditors and taken strong steps to find and eliminate any remaining vulnerabilities in government programs. Time will tell. Thankfully, so far, 5 people have been convicted, with more trials coming. However, not a single person in the Walz administration has been held accountable for allowing this to happen. That needs to change. On top of all of that, the Minnesota House of Representatives voted not to require the Attorney General to investigate race, fraud, and abuse in the state, all along party lines, with the Democrats voting to oppose that. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and do not forget to vote in the primary in Minnesota on August 13th.